You need me to give you a ride?
Turn that off.
I can go 6 miles an hour.
Okay, I've got 6:45. We're going to start the public hearing. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Jay?
Here.
Sarah?
Here.
Eric?
Yes.
Nancy?
Here.
Ross?
Yes.
Okay, this is a public hearing for a drinking outdoor refreshment area known as a D.O.R.A. This is this will be under consideration for the council. The way that has to work is I was required to submit an application to the village council. The village council then we have 45 days to get it into the newspaper. That has been taken care of. And once it's in the newspaper, there's this little window of time where they cannot vote on it in less than 30 days and not over 60 days. So there is a window of time in there to when that can be voted on. That could be if the council chose to waive readings, they could vote on it this evening. They can let it ride, and they're still within their window of time at the next council meeting in July. But in July, they would have to waive the readings to vote on it to meet the statutory requirements to get it within that window. So anyway, tonight we're required to do a public hearing. The public hearing, people are allowed to come up and speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. At the end of their time, we ask them to sit down, and the council will not take any questions or answer any questions whatsoever. This is strictly a place for the public to for them to speak and be heard by the council. So we have one person signed up for the D.O.R.A. public hearing, and that is Becky Blevins. Becky, if you'd like to come up, state your name and your address, please.
1134 Main Street in Commercial Point. Okay, first I'd like to say that I am against D.O.R.A. because to me, according to my understanding, it's nothing more than a legal out for violating Ohio's liquor law. But that being said, if it does pass, I have a few questions, concerns. I guess I know you can't answer anything, but I would like to see the boundary lines, which I was shown from the two establishments that serve alcohol, to have that more restricted into maybe directly in front of them and the green space, and not extended so far out on the streets to the residents that are in the area. I was wondering if the activity will be policed, and if so, who is paying for the policing? And if this will take away from the significant policing in other areas. Excuse me, will the participants be eligible, everybody be eligible to participate? For instance, will it include the food trucks, the farmers markets, and other special events that are coming up? And is a separate permit required? Are there specific days and hours allowed for the D.O.R.A. and who will enforce it? There again, if it's the Commercial Point Police Department, I'd like to know who pays for their time to enforce basically private events, although the food truck and so forth is village sponsored. It's my understanding that specific rules can be made by Commercial Point, and I would like to know if they are made, where we can read those particular rules, the boundaries, the days, and so forth. And if anyone on council, if everyone, I should say, on council understands all of the implications, or if it's just going to be rubber stamped by some. Who will be checking ages of the drinking people once they're outside of the serving establishment? In other words, someone can bring a drink out of the establishment to an underage out in the public. What penalties are going to be for violation, and will they be enforced? And who is responsible if there should be an incident Does Commercial Point have any liabilities for the D.O.R.A? Let's say someone stumbles and falls out in the road into traffic, if you do clear down to 762 like the map shows. And then considering all of the current problems with noise and rowdy behavior, will the noise ordinance be enforced? And if so, by whom? And last, why not just issue a temporary permit for special events in lieu of the D.O.R.A and have better control over who and who isn't allowed? I need to understand what the point is of the D.O.R.A. Some people refer to Grove City. It isn't like we have businesses around that people can go in and out and patronize, so there's really no financial gain. I keep hearing that we don't want to grow, and yet we keep wanting to mirror other towns. And I just have to ask if this is what you as a council want for Commercial Point, or do you want us to remain a family-oriented village that we are used to? And my last question is, if you pass the D.O.R.A, can it be revoked? I know you're not allowed to answer any of my questions, but hopefully I can get answers from someone in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vic.
Okay. That's the only one we had signed up to speak tonight. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion by Eric to adjourn the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Sarah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This public hearing is adjourned. The council meeting will begin at 7 o'clock. Thank you.